Hello, friends. It's Mrs. Striggle. Welcome to another episode of St. Peter's Preschool Time. I'm so glad to be here with you. We're going to start today's episode like we do all of our preschool time episodes, and we're going to sing the welcome song. So go ahead and sing along with me. Welcome to our preschool time, our preschool time. Welcome to our preschool time. We're so glad you're here. We are so glad you're here. Today, we're going to guess what we're going to be talking about. So, get your thinking caps on, and I'm going to give you some clues. Today we are going to be talking about an animal, and this animal is a bird. The type of bird it is belongs to the family of raptors, and that means it's a bird of prey. That means it hunts for its food. This animal has some sharp claws called talons, and that's what helps it capture its prey. This animal has feathers, and its feathers on its wings help it to fly very quietly so that its prey doesn't know that it's coming. This animal has very large eyes, and it has really good eyesight, so it can see in the dark. And the reason it needs to see in the dark is because it's a nocturnal animal, and that means that it's awake and it hunts at night. So when you go to bed at night, this animal wakes up. And when you wake up during the morning, this animal goes to sleep. So something else special about its eyes is it can't move its eyes. It has to move its entire head in order to be able to see anything. And this animal can turn its head 270 degrees. That means it can turn almost all the way around. So it can turn its head to look behind and even a little bit to the side. The other thing about this animal, or another thing, is it can hear really, really well. And this animal needs to be able to hear well because even though its eyes are really big, to help it see in the dark, it's still hard to see in the dark. So if this animal wants to catch its prey or its food, it has to be able to hear really well where that food might be. This animal also has a very sharp beak. You can see its beak there. And it uses its sharp beak to grip and to tear apart its food so that it can then eat it. And this animal eats mice and snakes and birds and rabbits and skunks, other small animals like that. I'll give you one more clue. The babies for this animal are sometimes called chicks or owlets. Do you know what this animal is? Take a look. It is an owl. Today, we are going to learn all about owls. And you learned some really cool facts just now. We're going to learn even more. There are many different kinds of owls, and owls come in all shapes and sizes. I'm going to show you some pictures of some owls. And you can see that they all look a little bit different. This owl has a very wide wingspan. That means its wings are really, really big. This is one of the biggest owls. Some owls are very small. They can be as small as 5 inches. That's about from here to here. And one of those types of owls is called the elf owl. There's another kind of owl called the great gray owl, and that can be 33 inches long. Look how long that is. Almost my entire stick from here all the way to here. So you can see that owls come in many different shapes and sizes. They also come in different colors depending on where they live. This owl lives in the woods. This owl lives in the snow. Friends, we're going to play a counting game now. We are going to roll the die and see how many owls at a time fly to the tree branch. Are you ready to help me count? All right, let's go. I just rolled the dice, and how many did we get? 6, yes. Let's have 6 owls fly to the tree branch. Help me count, please. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 owls sitting on the tree branch. Let's roll the die again and see what number we get. What number is there? 3. Let's fly 3 owls to the tree branch. 1, 2, 3. Roll the die again and see what number we get. 2, that's right. Let's fly 2 owls to the tree branch. 1, 2. You're doing a very nice job of helping me count. Thank you, friends. Let's do one more time. What number did we get again? We got the number 2, yes. All right, help me count. 1, 2. Nice job, friends. This is a game that you can play at home. You don't have to have owls. You don't have to have a tree branch. You can get any small object. And if you don't have a die, you can actually use little slips of paper with numbers on them. And you can play that way. So this is a really fun game to practice your counting.
Hi friends, it's Mrs. Baumann. I hope you're all doing well. Today I'm going to read to you One Odd Old Owl. It is written and illustrated by Paul S. Adsheed. I hope you enjoy it. In the forest of Nod, by a slumbering stream, there's a tall twisting tree that grew out of a dream. Down through its branches, silently oozing, slides a slow, sleepy snail, disturbed from her snoozing. One odd old owl in slumber so deep is snoring so loudly she cannot go to sleep. If there's one thing snails hate, it's the sound of loud snoring. So spying 2 birds, she at once starts imploring, "Please wake up the owl, it's time he was gone. I want 40 winks and so far I've had none." So 2 lazy lovebirds chirp, chirrup and cheep, but one odd old owl continues to sleep. "Louder," she begs, "much more noise if you please." So 3 wily woodpeckers hammer harshly on trees. 2 lazy lovebirds chirp, chirrup, and cheep, but one odd old owl continues to sleep. Then 4 fine feathered flamingos noisily knock their knees. 3 wily woodpeckers hammer harshly on the trees. 2 lazy lovebirds chirp, chirrup, and cheep, but 1 odd old owl continues to sleep. Louder groans the snail. Alas, the sun has almost set. So 5 delighted ducks and drakes quack quickly in quintet. 4 fine feathered flamingos noisily knock their knees. 3 wily woodpeckers hammer harshly on the trees. 2 lazy lovebirds chirp, chirrup, and cheep, but 1 odd old owl continues to sleep. Then 6 canaries sing in chorus, their song the sweetest yet. 5 delightful ducks and drakes quack quickly in quintet. 4 fine feathered flamingos noisily knock their knees. 3 wily woodpeckers hammer harshly on the trees. 2 lazy lovebirds chirp, chirrup, and cheep, but 1 odd old owl continues to sleep. Louder, cries the snail, or else he'll snore all night. So 7 harmonious hummingbirds whir their wings in flight. 6 canaries sing in chorus, their song the sweetest yet. 5 delightful ducks and drakes quack quickly in quintet. 4 fine feathered flamingos noisily knock their knees. 3 wily woodpeckers hammer harshly on the trees. 2 lazy lovebirds chirp, chirrup, and cheep, but 1 odd old owl continues to sleep. Then 8 excited parrots screech, squawk with all their might. 7 harmonious hummingbirds whir their wings in flight. 6 canaries sing in chorus, their song the sweetest yet. 5 delightful ducks and drakes quack quickly in quintet. 4 fine feathered flamingos noisily knock their knees. 3 wily woodpeckers hammer harshly on the trees. 2 lazy lovebirds chirp, chirrup, and cheep, but 1 odd old owl continues to sleep. Louder weeps the snail, if not he'll snore for weeks and weeks. So 9 crazy cockatoos shout in shrill sharp shrieks. 8 excited parrots screech and squawk with all their might. 7 harmonious hummingbirds whir their wings in flight. 6 canaries sing in chorus, their song the sweetest yet. 5 delightful ducks and drakes quack quickly in quintet. 4 fine feathered flamingos noisily knock their knees. 3 wily woodpeckers hammer harshly on the trees. 2 lazy lovebirds chirp, chirrup, and cheep, but 1 odd old owl continues to sleep. Then 10 tired toucans clitter, clatter, bold, bright beaks. 9 crazy cockatoos shout in shrill, sharp shrieks. 8 excited parrots screech and squawk with all their might. 7 harmonious hummingbirds whir their wings in flight. 6 canaries sing in chorus, their song the sweetest yet. 5 delightful ducks and drakes quack quickly in quintet. 4 fine feathered flamingos noisily knock their knees. 3 wily woodpeckers hammer harshly on the trees. 2 lazy lovebirds chirp, chirrup, and cheep, but 1 odd owl continues to sleep. He'll never wake up, sobs the snail with a sigh. Perhaps I can help, asks a voice in reply. Then out of the forest, when all hope seems to fail, steps a proud princely peacock with a shimmering tail. He takes a deep breath and throws back his head. Then he lets out a scream that would waken the dead. The deafening fanfare rings out round the skies. 1 odd old owl yawns, then opens both eyes. Soon soft silent wings through the starlight will soar. At last, laughs the snail, I can't hear that owl snore. But before that poor snail can ooze off to bed, 55 birds start snoring instead. I hope you guys all enjoyed that book. See you soon.
We're going to do a fun poem now with owls, and it's a counting poem. Here on my board, I have some owl pictures. Help me count how many there are. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to start with 5 owls. And this poem is called 5 Wise Owls. 5 wise owls sat on a barn door. 1 flew away, and then there were 4. Help me count. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 wise old owls sat down for tea. One fell in his cup, and then there were 3. 1, 2, 3. 3 wise old owls hooted on cue. One lost his voice, and then there were 2. 1, 2. 2 wise old owls weren't having any fun, so one fell asleep. And then there was 1. 1 wise old owl in the setting sun flew off into the forest, and then there were none. We're talking about owls today, so we are going to make 2 different things. The first thing we're going to make is an owl puppet. This is what the finished owl puppet is going to look like. What you'll need for this owl puppet is a paper bag. You'll need different colored paper. And for my paper, I chose yellow. You may choose any color that you want. And then a little bit of white, because I like white behind the eyes. But again, you can use any color that you want. You'll need a marker, a pencil, a glue stick, and some scissors. We're going to start with our paper bag. And we're going to make sure that the flap of the bottom is laying up. This is important because when we use our puppet, we're going to want our owl head to be able to move. So we're going to lay this up. We are going to take a small piece of paper and we're going to make the triangle for the head. And I'm just going to cut a triangle out of my small piece of paper. Friends, if you need some help with your cutting, you could ask your grown-up at home to help you. We're going to glue that triangle onto my paper bag, just like that. Next, we're going to take my white piece of paper and I'm going to cut out 2 circles. You can either draw the circles ahead of time or you can just cut out the circles. And that's what I'm going to do. Remember, friends, when you cut, you keep your thumb on top. Keep your thumb on top when you cut. You keep your thumb on top when you cut. Keep your thumb on the top. Keep your thumb on the top. Keep your thumb on the top when you cut. And that's going to help you be able to cut the best way. Because these circles are going to be eyes, I'm going to put little eyeballs on them with my black marker. And then I'm going to put some glue on the back and glue them onto my head. Not my head, of course. My owl's head. Now, we talked about the body parts that an owl has at the beginning. The owl has 2 large eyes, and it also has a sharp beak. So I'm going to draw a sharp beak onto my owl. The last thing I'm going to do now is the owl's wings. Remember, the owl's wings help it to fly and catch its prey. To make The wings, I am going to use my hand. I'm going to trace my hand. And you can get a grown-up to help you if you have a hard time doing this by yourself. You're going to take a pencil and draw right around your hand. Then I'm going to take my other hand and do the same thing. Now I'm going to cut out my handprints. Again, when we are cutting, we keep our thumb on the top. Keep your thumb on top when you cut. You keep your thumb on the top when you cut. Keep your thumb on the top. Keep your thumb on the top. Keep your thumb on the top when you cut. There's my one hand print. Now I'm going to cut out my other one. Now friends, I'm a grown-up and I've had lots of practice cutting. So this might look like it's pretty easy cutting to you, but you might need to take a little bit longer than me to cut out your handprint, and that's okay. You can pause this video, finish cutting out the handprints, and then play it again and to go on to the next step. All right, so now we have our wings cut and we're going to glue them onto our owl. So I'm just going to take a little bit of glue and put it on the back of it. Stick it to the body of my owl. And we have our owl's wings. If you want, you can take your marker and you can add a few feathers onto your owl because we had talked about owls have feathers on them. Now your owl puppet is ready. You can stick your hand in the owl and your owl puppet is ready to fly and to talk. The second thing we're going to make today is a fun owl snack. And this is a great snack because it can be adapted to use any ingredients that you have at home. I'm using bread, but you could also use a graham cracker or rice cake. I'm also using 3 apple slices, and one of those apple slices I cut into 3 sections. I'm using some Cheerios and some raisins. Again, you can use any fruit that you want, strawberries or bananas. You can really use anything that you like and that you have handy at home. And then I also am using cream cheese. And you can use any kind of spread that you have at home or that you like to use. Peanut butter, Nutella, sun nut butter, any of those things would be fine. The first thing you're going to do is take your bread or graham cracker or rice cake, whatever you're using, and you are going to spread your spread on it. So again, I'm using cream cheese, and I'm going to spread that cream cheese all over my bread. This is going to help all the pieces of the owl to stick to it. The next thing I'm going to do is make the owl's face. So to make the owl's face, it needs 2 eyes, 1, 2, and a beak. So I'm going to take my apple slices and I'm going to put them on to make a face. Now to show that they're eyes, I'm going to put the raisins on, and to help them stick, I'm going to dip them into a little bit of cream cheese. Next, we know that owls have wings, so I'm going to take my apple slices and I'm going to use them to create wings for my owl. And owls have feathers, so I'm going to use my Cheerios to make it look like the owl's feathers on its stomach. And you can even add feathers up on its face. Kind of like this. There. Now I have a fun, yummy owl snack that I am gonna eat. Thank you, friends, for joining me to learn all about owls. I had a great time learning all kinds of facts and doing a poem and counting and hearing a story and doing a craft. Oh, that yummy snack that we did. I can't wait to eat that. We're gonna finish now with our goodbye song. Goodbye, friends. Goodbye, friends. Goodbye, friends. We'll see you next time. Bye, friends.